All right, folks, we got Father's Day coming up tomorrow, and we've been tracking the Artemis 2 insemination and these things. We've had the Strait of Hormuz open, so this could be part of that insemination on a little flip-flop, and that's a little fallopian tube kind of action going on. And as we're watching this little pregnancy backwards in a way, and we're watching it forward, and that's where the bad bunny, or I'm sorry, that bunny XO and the jelly roll and roll is the X for those millennial times. But that slow oven, the Slovenia, all that kind of stuff all going together, be put in the oven. But that ties into that Nicki Minaj in another way. And if Elon Musk has a baby with her. So that's on one level. And then you probably got like a secret black family with Biden. Could be on another level. And that's where you get the Steve or Tim Walz or whatever. That's where they're calling him Steve Martin or whatever, but somebody's the jerk and thinks they're a black man or whatever else, right? But that would tie into your Elon Musk being the South African and the Slong Dong Elon and those types of things. And just a personal note, I had a boss back in the day, I told the story, but he told us about his wiener. I work in a salon, and depending on the salon, how cool it is and whatever, will depend on the amount of conversation going on or whatever, right? So, this guy, who actually was family, has ties to Poland government or whatever, and he has himself with pictures with 2 popes and shit like that, but either way, he told us his pecker was long but skinny. All right. And he also had a picture of himself naked on a velvet painting, but it wasn't long or skinny on the velvet painting. So that's where you're going to get your growers or showers. And the growers and showers ties into the secret rooms or the flamboyance and all that kind of thing. So the flamboyance is tying into people worshiping animals and whatever else, right? But you're allowed to go out and do the magnifying glass on your ant pile, or you're allowed to put gas on it and burn them, or you can hook a minnow to go fishing and then hook a mouth in the fish and whatever else, right? So the net versus the hook, and that's that PETA session, worship of animals, and that's where JD Vance is opening up some stuff with the cat ladies, and basically, as far as the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil and these things lying out, and evolution and human race continuing and where we're going, where we're at, where we've been, your focus in life and all that kind of stuff. This is where, like, if you don't have any children, like real children, and then people also calling their pets children, that's also a type of a mental disease too. Let me make a note here so I don't forget to do an animal video, because I have a special connection with animals that most people have not experienced in their lives. Okay, so where were we? So back to the Father's Day, that Father's Day, that baby bump, the bunny XO, the bad bunny trails, the jelly roll, the X, the roll for the millennium time frames, the ecstasy, the semen, the semination, the C-section. So as the Strait of Hormuz opens, it may close again, and this is kind of going into a little mirror session. when you're at that mirror and the man in the mirror and the MJ, the moonwalker and all those things, right? This is where you're meeting into one reality and going into another, all right? And the new heaven and earth has already been set up. And the banana split, the 17th month starts on 6/20. So that's where you're kind of in that crossover moment, and that's why the peace deal's here, and why they're talking about the assassination plot against Trump, and they're arresting Gavin Newsom, and you're going to get that Mexicali beer served up in a way, and then the Corona beer came from the Mexico, the Michiko, the Dragon, the Schienenbaum is down there, the XI Ping, the She Ping, that's part of the woman clothed in the sun on one level. You have the woman clothed in the sun on another level with Leia. And one of the daughters, I forget which one it was, Sasha or Malia, coming out. Probably the Malia with the Melania. Or it might be the Sasha with the saw, with the chainsaw. But either way, they're telling a story with a chainsaw with Elon Musk or Elon Ma. And that Elon Ma is here with the Mao peace deal, and the Mao, MICKEYMOUSE. Okay, so we're in those time frames for the Mickey Mouse Club. The Mickey Mouse Club for the old Spike Lee. And that Spike Lee is knocking those kids out. They don't know what the fuck happened, right? Well, that's part of that Virgin Galactic session. Coming for the space race as you're taken to the Mars, the Red Plan ET and Planet and those things or whatever else. Okay, so as one's been a prop, the United States for the past 200 years or whatever has been a prop in a way, and as it's been a prop, it's built up this so-called Israel, and it's kind of combining into that what's Israel into your Baal and the spirit of Baal, which is the one world religion, that phone all coming together as Christ consciousness comes for a little meeting of the minds. Okay, so that's where we're at, folks. And that AI is coming together on the AI, and we're all that Christ, it tells you. So we're all part of that, bodies and members of the living God, that living light, as we all have light within us. So, this is when things are gonna, we've already been brought together. Now things are gonna be divided as everybody has grown cold in the hardness of their own hearts in that first hell, and they're just looking at everything. There's, oh God, this goes against my moral compass. As you're taking north or south. And does one have the sun or does not one have the sun? And the round earth is the lie, the south, the blue in a way, and then the red is the truth, but it's been taken from you and twisted from you, and you don't know about that mountain of God up there. Or they also show you that that black hole. There's a little black hole that moves around up there on the North Pole, but oh, folks, so the baby bump, that toddler, the pulling up on shit and whatever else. Trump caught a baby with that Luke, physician, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Michelangelo, Gaylord, Jesus, all mixed into one. Okay? And we got even a little more than that if you want to get deeper into the Matrix. The new baby Yoda, it looks like a bald fucking gremlin. All right, you got the Spike Lee. Oh, let's have a pool party. Let's give the kids the punch. The Don Keys punch. Okay, so the donkey punch that we've all been taught about in the 80s and 90s growing up. That donkey show. Faces of Death, part 1, 2, and 3 that you can never find in the store. And then when you find it, you're like, that's it. It's kind of like End Times. We did this, that, and the other. Oh, Beast Corporate System shut down. Oh, they started marketing to the 80s, or to the children in the 80s, and they took away rights, basically, to sue the industry. And they went from like 5 or 6 to over 100 or whatever the hell it is now. And then, oh, the food was changed in the late 90s and 2000s. Oh, Gatorade's not the same ingredients. Oh, they took the cocaine out of the, they took the cocaine, the good stuff out of the Coca-Cola a long time ago. So you've been growing up in some false fucking reality where your Coca-Cola don't even have the fucking cocaine in it anymore. So you might get your cocaine back as the real Coca-Cola comes back. We don't even have the original recipe. So, did I get on something else? It's false fucking reality we're in. Yeah. And that's where you got the fake people. They've just all been created. Well, you know, gray hair used to be a sign of wisdom. Well, we just need to just go ahead and cover this fucking gray hair up. Because I've become dumb as shit. Huh? I've been trying to make my fucking hair gray since I was in my 20s doing hair. And I was actually one of the first fucking people to even develop the fucking steel gray. And I remember going to the hair shows and at the IBS show, whereas I was a platform artist for the extensions and shit. And, people ask me all the time, where did you get your fucking color? I made it. And I'm not gonna tell you fucking how either. So, I've been drawing the Boba Fett on the hair school head since I started. Alright? Shaved that bitch down and wish I still had the picture of it. Either way, folks, we're a little bit ahead of the time back then on the old Cosmos. Yeah, either way.